boring hour feels like it will never end, and then a week later, you can barely remember it happened at all. The same hour is both the longest and the shortest of your week. That contradiction is not a mistake. It is two different clocks in your head, and they do not agree with each other. Think about the last time you were truly bored. Not distracted, bored, a waiting room, a dull meeting, an afternoon with nothing to do and nowhere to be. You checked the clock, 5 minutes had passed. It felt like 20. You checked again, 10 minutes. It felt like an hour. Time moved like honey. It was unbearable. Now fast forward a week. Someone asks you what you did that day. You struggle to remember. It is almost gone, a vague blur of waiting, a few scattered details. That afternoon that felt eternal while you were living it has collapsed into almost nothing in your memory. Here is what is strange about that. The clock on the wall ticked at exactly the same rate the entire time, 1 second per second, no faster, no slower. The stretching and shrinking is happening entirely inside you. So what is the difference between an hour that crawls and an hour that flies? The answer sits in a simple fact that most people never notice. Time is not measured by a clock in your head. It is measured by your attention. A watched pot never boils. A dull meeting lasts a geological age. A great evening with friends vanishes. The clock on the wall does not change. Your attention does. When you are bored, there is nothing to absorb your mind. No story to follow, no problem to solve, no person to listen to. Your attention has nowhere to go but the passage of time itself. You monitor it. You check the clock. You feel every second dragging past because you are spending your attention counting them. Psychologists call this prospective timing. It is when you are judging how long something takes while it is actually happening, and it is dominated entirely by attention. The more of your attention you spend watching the clock, the more seconds you register, and the longer the interval feels. Here is the thing that matters. Boredom does not slow time down. Boredom aims your full attention at time, and attention is the very thing that makes time feel long. This same mechanism runs in reverse and explains why time flies when you are having fun. When you are gripped by something, deep in a task, lost in a film, caught in a conversation with someone you care about, your attention is fully spent on that thing. There is none left over to monitor the clock, so the seconds pass unregistered. You look up and hours are gone because you were never counting them. The deepest version of this is what psychologists call flow. The term comes from Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, who studied what happens when people become totally immersed in something. In that state, self-awareness dissolves, time awareness dissolves. You are not aware you are aware. You have no attention left to spend on time itself. Here is the lesson exactly, and it is strange. Time does not feel long because a lot happened. Time feels long because you watched it, and it feels short because something else stole the attention it needed to be watched. But here is where it gets genuinely mind-bending. There are actually two clocks in your head, and they do not agree. The first clock, prospective timing, works in the moment and runs on attention. Right now, this second. How long is this feeling? The second clock, retrospective timing, is how you judge a duration later, looking back. It works on something completely different, not attention, memory. When you remember something, you rebuild how long it took from how many distinct memories you laid down. A day packed with new experiences, new places, new people, new surprises. You encoded thousands of distinct memories. When you look back, it feels like it lasted forever. A day spent doing the same thing, the same route, the same routine, few memories encoded. When you look back, it feels like almost no time at all. Now watch what this does to boredom. A tedious, empty afternoon creates almost no memories. Nothing happened worth encoding. No surprises, no novelty, no change. So it crawls unbearably while you are in it. Your attention is pinned to the clock. Every minute feels like an hour. The very thing that makes an experience feel long in the moment is the thing that makes it disappear from your past. Now, it is important to say what we do not know. Time perception is not a solved equation. The attention versus memory split is well established. Prospective and retrospective timing are real and widely replicated in the lab. The paradox is real, but the deeper machinery is debated. Older models proposed a literal internal clock, a pacemaker running in your brain, whose speed changes with attention and arousal. Dopamine has been linked to how fast that clock seems to run, but a study from 2024 found something unexpected. When researchers showed people sped up clocks or slowed down clocks, it did not reliably change how they perceived time. That suggests the internal pacemaker picture is incomplete. There is something else going on, and boredom itself is genuinely hard to study. It sits awkwardly between emotion and cognition. The first academic journal devoted entirely to boredom launched only recently, so here is the honest version: that attention stretches time in the moment, and memory shrinks empty time in retrospect is solid and testable. The precise machinery of your brain's clock is still being worked out, but the paradox is real, and it means something. It means the parts of your life that feel the longest to live through are precisely the parts that will vanish from your memory as if they never happened. The queues, the waiting rooms, the dull afternoons, the commutes where nothing occurs to you, the boring meetings where you stare at the clock, those feel eternal while you are in them, and then they are gone. Meanwhile, the parts that fly by fastest are the ones that will swell into the biggest, richest stretches of your remembered life: the absorbed hours, the joyful conversations, the fully lived days when you were so caught in something that time disappeared from your awareness entirely. So there is a quiet, almost unfair logic running underneath your days. To make life feel long while living it, be bored. Pay attention to time. Watch the clock. Feel every second. To make life feel long looking back, be absorbed. Disappear into something. Let time steal away unnoticed. You cannot have both. The two selves, the one living now and the one who will remember, will never agree on how long anything took. When you feel time dragging, you are not wasting your life. You are living through the part your memory will quietly erase. And when time flies, it is not slipping away. It is being laid down richly into the story you will actually keep.